Hello, today we're going to talk about observing the long run relative frequency of an event. Alright, this video is just going to be me doing the problems over this basically, but probability is the measure of the likelihood of an event occurring like a coin flip. You flip a coin, I have a 50% chance of getting heads. Alright, that's what probability is. Relative frequency is I flip a coin 50 times. And I get heads 20 times and tails 30 times. So my relative frequency of getting heads is 20 over 50 or 2/5. My relative frequency of getting tails is 3/5. All right, that's what relative frequency is. It's more experimentational than probability is just a guess. All right, so I'm going to do these problems. So give me a second. All right, for the first one, it says Carl spins 64 times. How many times can you expect the spinner to land on purple? So if you spin 64 times, all right, so you have one purple out of a total of 8. So if I have one purple, that's my number of outcomes that I want over the total, which is 8. I multiply that by 64, and I get 8. You should expect to get it land on purple 8 times. All right, for our next example. So George spins a spinner multiple times. He expects the spinner to land on green 9 times. On green. I probably should have done this with a green marker. That would have made it better. All right. So if he spins it, expects it to land on green 9 times. How many times did he spin it? All right. So you have to think about this. So for green, there's a 3/8 chance of him spinning and landing on green because there's 3 possible outcomes, a total of 8. Now he expects to get it 9 times. So how many times did he spin? This is just like the last problem we did, but those got flipped out. So to get rid of this, multiply by 8/3, multiply this by 8/3, I get x equals 72 over 3, which simplifies down to x equals 24. So it's all about setting it up right and know the probability. So he expects to spin 24 times to get 9 greens. All right, example 3. So someone spins this spinner. Hope you guys like my yellow too. I don't have a yellow, so yellows are highlighters. He spins it 120 times, and he expects to get a certain color 30 times. Which color is it? All right, so it's just about setting up the equation right. So I'm going to spin it 120 times, and I expect to get it 30. All right? So what I'm looking for, basically, is which possible outcomes am I looking for? So x. So I'm going to do this a little bit differently. I'm going to combine these two and make that 120x over 8 equals 30. Multiply this by 8. 240, divide by 120, divide by 120. So x equals 2. So which one has the possible outcomes of 2? Your red. So red is your answer. All right, now let's move on to relative frequency. So I'm just going to do the relative frequency of all of these. So I spun this a total of 60 times. So what is the relative frequency that I'm going to get a red? Or that I got red? What's the relative frequency? So 15 over 60, which gives me 1/4. So what's the relative frequency of my green? 30 over 60, which is 1/2. My blue is 10 over 60, So that's 1/6. And my purple is 5/60, which gives me 1/12. All right, this has been observing the long run relative frequency of an event. Hope it helped. Good luck.